the continuity there, and for a veteran quarterback, not having to go someplace and learn a whole new system.
Sure.
The grass isn't always greener.
That's right. And not only that, but so let's start with this. Tom Brady, the past couple of off seasons, has spent time away from the offseason program with the Patriots to spend more time with his family. Now, all offseason programs could well be compromised because of what we're dealing with across the world right now, the pandemic of the COVID-19 virus. That being said, does he want to go somewhere? If he signs somewhere else, part of the dynamic might be how much time is he willing to contribute to his new team during the offseason program, which certainly his new team would like. Just going to deal with some of the stuff that we know right now for a fact. And this morning, the Patriots used the franchise tag unexpectedly on Joe Thuney, second-team All-Pro this past year, an excellent, excellent guard. And I'm not saying that that is directly linked to Tom Brady, but if you're Tom Brady, you're probably sitting there saying, listen, I don't care if it's a lot of money for a guard or not. I want to keep the best offensive lineman on my team in New England. So there are a lot of reasons why, while there are other places that do make sense, I continue to believe that Tom Brady's best fit remains in New England, where he's been there for 20 years.
I agree with that. And I've been in that situation where Coach Belichick, where you're just sitting there, you're agonizing, you're letting an unrestricted free agent test the market. You can't franchise him. And you say, hey, look, we have, and in this case, historical relationship here, tons of equity, keep us posted. And I do think they'll get one shot at it. And I think the approach really is simplistic. One, it's about legacy. Tom, we're going to name the stadium after you. Gillette Stadium is going to be a 12 Tom Brady pass. I think there's so many different things they could do from a legacy standpoint. And then I think the fascinating conversation, and Louis, you played for Coach Belichick, which is the non-economics of, hey, we're going to give you Mondays off. So if your family wants to relocate, which reportedly is out there, then you don't have to be in the facility on Monday or Tuesdays. And I think there's ways you could approach Tom Brady. And the other thing I would say to them is, hey, look, you came up short last year. Yeah. We came up short last year. We didn't do a good enough job replacing Gronk. We're going to be aggressive. Maybe it's Emmanuel Sanders. Maybe it's a receiver in the draft. But, Tom, let's sit here shoulder to shoulder as partners and see how we can figure this thing out so you can retire a Patriot.
Yeah, I think, obviously, and I'll make this quick. I know you want to say something here, Josina. Look, I think there's a lot of inherent risk, obviously, for Tom to move. All right? When you talk to people who are familiar with kind of like how they do things up there as opposed to like Peyton Manning, when Peyton Manning was on the move, Peyton kind of pretty much went to Denver and said, this is how we're going to do things on offense. I want this guy, and this guy. These are protections I want. These are routes we're going to run. This is how we practice them. This is how I want you to break them. That's not what Tom's role has been in New England. That's not what he does. Now, that does not take away from his greatness in any way, shape, or form. But he comes from such a structured environment. And you point to the fact that if this offseason is in some way, shape, or form altered to the point where he doesn't have the same kind of time with his wide receiver core and or doesn't want the same amount of time because he wants to spend more time with his family. Think about the risk that he's undertaking to now a guy who has prided himself for 20 years on being that guy who proved everybody wrong could possibly go to a place where he's not familiar with the surroundings, how they do things. Maybe people don't do things to his standard that he's been used to. The accountability isn't the same. And who knows if he gels with those new people, how that could just blow up for him. Now, on the flip side, my feeling is this. He definitely is looking at New England and going, remember that look I had on my face on the sideline all those times when my guys aren't getting open? What are you going to do?
That's right.
Okay, what are you really going to do? Because maybe I can sell it with Giselle and say, hey, look, they're going to help me out this year. But what are you going to do to really help me? Because New England just can't be New England, meaning you're going to sit back and free agents are going to go, yeah, we want to come play for you because you're Bill. Guys want to get paid now. Well, cash is king now. And I think you just have to change your approach somewhat. You know what I mean? To get people in there to help him out.
Just wanted to say real quick, I know that the Chargers are doing their due diligence when it comes to Tom Brady. I think as far as the domino piece, there are teams like the Chargers in Tampa who are waiting for that piece to be determined so that they can determine other pieces. Just case in point, I got a text before we came on saying no decisions yet. We're trying to figure out what's going on with Jameis. So obviously you have to know what's going on with certain pieces first and how money's getting allocated before you're doing that. But I do think it's an interesting piece that Tom Brady is starting that production company out west, which is another piece to look out as well.